Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday, and welcome back for Game 2 of Gymnast versus Yal. This is the quarterfinals of Skyward Randomizer Season 4 tournament. Tracking today are Featherblade, Lotta Chiamaka for the first 20 minutes, and then Vibrant Viola is going to come in. And commentating alongside me is Pippi in a top hat. How are you, Pippi?
I'm good. I was having a blast watching Game 1 right before this on ZSR2. So I'm excited to see how close this is. Also, to answer the immediate question from chat, no, I do not have a working microphone, but I do have Discord auto filtration to filter out the jank. So
yeah.
If my mic quality is terrible, please forgive me.
Yeah, so Game 1, we're not going to chat too much on it, but Yal won by about 40 seconds. 38 seconds. It was very close, as you'd kind of expect with these two runners. They are both very good. But yeah, this is Game 2 of the best of 3. The winner will go on to play KitKat, who defeated Jaznix 2-0 in their quarterfinal race. If Game 3 happens, it will be on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. So I hope we have a close Game 2. Any predictions on dungeons?
Oh god, I want to see Ancient Cistern. I just want to see some clean Cistern movement. Actually, I want to see Fire Sanctuary because I want to see that trick Yal did in Fire Sanctuary again. Can I have Ancient Cistern and Fire Sanctuary? I want both. I'm greedy.
I'm gonna hope for Cistern, Sandchip, and Skyview.
Okay.
Gotta have Sandchip for Vimy. But we are gonna get underway, and let's see where they start.
Seems we're starting in Lanayru.
Or north.
This should be desert entry. Earth Temple, LMF, and was that Ancient Cistern was the last one?
Yes, it was. And Floria, Cistern, and Summit are barren.
No Cistern, my goodness.
Yeah, that is telling us that our Water Dragon scale is probably very, very low. It is logically going to be the last item they get.
Yeah. I can't help but point out that the check that Jim very much believes is always bombs is not bombs, it's not pinging. So this is the one seed where bombs were not on Chesnir Caged Robot on an Lanayru start.
Yeah, and this is interesting because I think with this Lanayru start, you have to at least consider dropping back down. Because if you're on the Sansi side, there are 6 checks you can get right now. Lanayru is really the only region you would consider going back down.
I'd consider going back down. It's a lot depending on the entrance, honestly. But
that is a dead Petro 50.
That's good. I do think that there's a lot of mileage you can get from going to Skyloft first because it is more than would be in Sansi. However, it is going to be a when do you pick to re-enter.
Yeah,
as you should at some point.
My philosophy,
know.
and this was in Season 3 especially, was if you started in Lanayru, go back down. I, of course, am a mediocre Skyward Sword randomizer runner, and so you should not take my advice as good.
You shouldn't take my advice as good either.
Quiet, you Pippi. Don't even go there.
Listen, I can't route solo anymore.
Yeah, so I think they're both going to skip the Bamboo Island camp. Oh, no.
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. I think getting hints early on is pretty useful.
Yeah.
Generally. Also, though, I'm a slower player, so I find it very... And that's our second Petro 50 hint in the sky.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But That I honestly still like. Knowledge is power.
Wait. I'm gonna shoot my shot here.
Okay.
Water Dragon Scale is going to be the Water Dragon's reward.
Where is Jim going?
I'm shooting my shot on a crazy prediction.
Oh, there's a sword on Yal's side. Oh, Jim forgot that the Gossip Stone here. That was central to Scaldera.
Yes.
On that one. I don't know if I saw what it was on Yal's side, but
I saw it when Yal got it because I
okay,
perfect. I am responsible.
But Yal did get a sword at upper.
Yeah,
that's a good
only
start.
need 2 more swords. You need to collect 3 of the 4 swords.
Oh, and we're getting paid by that one's Owlin, not Horwell.
Yes.
It's Owlin in Rando, it's Horwell in Vanilla. I sometimes call them both Owlin. Close enough. What was that was on Bell?
Looked like a flower.
Okay. They are technically 2 different characters. They just look identical, but they have different hair colors.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see how long it takes before one of our runners does go back down and re-enter.
I mean, I have a feeling one of our Sphere Zero Central Skyloft checks is just gonna be Ruby Tablet.
That would be really nice.
that feels like our likely Scaldera path.
Yeah.
Given how much of Central Skyloft is pretty wide open. I mean, Bomb Bag, like, could be Bomb Bag, could be Claw Shots.
We didn't call out that Yell did get a beetle there.
Well, there's one Triforce. There's also a whip. So, that Triforce in Betrot's house, we're not going to get it for a while. Yal did not save Scum, because if he had, he potentially could get everything. But truthfully, he doesn't really need to get everything for a while. Like, that whip isn't going to unlock much, and that Triforce you don't need until the end game. So he'll just need to get money to get the Triforce later.
Yeah, he's also kind of gambling right now that he ideally won't need the other 100, because, like, ideally you'd like to leave with that whip, but...
Yeah, he can go get the discount.
Yep. Perfect. He does not need the other 100. That's good for him.
Yeah, we don't know which Triforce that is, but we'll probably get a hint for which one. I mean, I don't know if I would even say Beetle's loaded. That whip is really only useful for a Baron Ancient Cistern. There's a handful of other checks that it unlocks, but it's not, like, huge, necessarily.
It is important for go mode, since we have Ancient Cistern. And it's good to have, just, like, the whip and the gust bellows can honestly save you a lot of time over the course of a seed, just because they're gonna prevent you from doing costly double dips of, like, oh, well, I left this one weird check here, but I didn't think about it because it was whip locked type of thing. We have Jim deciding that whip is definitely more important than whatever is on third 100 immediately.
Well, he's gonna get a little money from arbitrage.
Oh, that's so true.
It'll only cost him 80, because Red
Oh,
Rupees
that's a second sword. Okay, Golden, I have a idea for you. Yes, my idea for you is Path Thunderhead.
Yeah, I mean,
Path on Longsword or White Sword and Thunderhead. That's my vote.
It would have to be White Sword.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that is our Path Island, if we get nothing else here, which we still have 3 checks, so we'll hold tight. I will say, like, that Baron Cistern really does not mean much. Cistern is very fast.
Yeah, especially as, ooh, that's a life tree fruit.
That's another ping here in Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, this is a forwards waterfall cave type of seed.
Yeah, with the path, I think it makes Caves
key.
So,
okay.
I don't know for sure. Now, does make me think we are maybe starting...
Gratitude crystals.
It's not that. Oh God, are we getting the path gratitude crystal seed? Yeah, and so now Jim is going to lose a little time doing reverse. So this trick that Jim is doing, if there's nothing in, I think either chest in Waterfall Cave, this is faster.
This trick saves time if both chests are dead. It saves a little bit of time depending on where you're going next. If the first chest is dead, it loses time if both chests are pinging because you have to go all the way around and go back up. So it's a little bit of a gamble. It pays off, like, you know, a tiny bit more often than it misses.
Oh my God. This might be path crystals. Because there is almost nothing that they can get here in Lanayru Desert.
I mean...
There's literally...
Could be.
One check that Yao can get here right now.
We can also enter LMF, as Yao is now doing.
Oh, that's true. I forgot LMF is a required dungeon in the seed.
Yes. We can actually do a decent bit more of scouting in LMF. Our in-logic check is pinging. Only one check is in logic. The rest would expect you to have the hook beetle, but since we have whip, actually kind of nice that we have whip there.
Yeah, and I think Yal is gonna go more because last seed.
Claw
well,
shots.
Okay.
My goodness.
Then yeah, that's probably just Cave Scheme. Yal, I don't think is gonna break in further now.
Yeah, especially with those pings. You can ping a decent amount of LMF from the entrance, and yep, those did not look helpful.
So the last seed, Gus Bellows were just sitting in LMF. And Yal...
Oh, that's evil.
Did not go in and grab them. Yeah, so...
Yeah, currently there's not a huge separation between our runners. They've done practically identical routing. Jim has lost a little bit of time to taking one unfortunate gamble and doing some extra hintitude that did not pay off, but we are like less than a minute of separation and they have done pretty much the same checks, which honestly, it's pretty impressive that they're still holding hands after 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see if... I want Jim to go further into LMF, not because I think it's a good decision, but because I want to know what's further in LMF.
I mean, again, like, this was a difference in game one.
Nope,
but
goodbye.
I think with claw shots, you're not going to.
Yeah, but
because claw shots and Cave Ski just open so much.
I can dream. We do have the classic Lanayru stand in one spot and spin in a tiny circle.
Yes. No, this makes a lot of sense for Yal because there's really only one other check in logic. The difference between the shield equipped and not is you can occasionally shield bash as you're running, which can lose you a little bit of time.
Yeah, generally speaking, you don't want to have your shield equipped.
Yal, why is Yal doing it this way? This is actually just losing Yal time.
I don't know.
Unless he's warping to start out of here. I am very confused.
But yeah, generally speaking, you don't want to be running around with shield equipped at top level because they'll just synced up cubes. Very nice.
Yeah.
It just causes the motion controls to be less consistent. However, you definitely want to like kind of have it easy access for Lineru specifically because it's really good at dealing with the ampless. So typically you'll see runners pull it out quickly for parts of Lineru, and other than that, keep it reserved for the couple of fights where it actually actively saves time. We can see the cost of Yell's interesting choice there is that they're now synced up.
Betro's house to Colossus. Let's go. Required Betro.
Here's the Betro pack. Water Whoa. Okay.
Is that gonna just be a really like a bat 40? LMF boss key chest is dead.
Yep.
Yeah, that now makes me think that there's something on Betro 40. That is,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it could just be a very late Emerald tablet.
That's true.
At this point,
we really thought that scale was going to be late, but
I mean, it's it's RNG, but you just kind of assume. Well, there's our harp. That could also be our central Skyloft to Scaldera path. That life tree fruit.
Shoutouts to the fact that that was a different treasure for both runners, but for both runners, it was horribly difficult to see what that was from a distance. It like definitely could have been something else. Both of them got pretty close to it before going, wait, no, I don't need that.
Yeah, I assume they're both gonna go into mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can ping here and grab a cube. There's only one check that these runners won't be able to grab.
Yeah, and also generally speaking, like, if you do need anything in mine,
cool.
You can get it and then death warp back to be able to do Sansi quickly from this position. Like, it's just a really good decision.
Yeah, and it's just the cube. So.
Yeah. That being said, like, so, correct me if I'm wrong, mine's cube is bomb locked. Right? Like the actual chest?
I believe so, but
they can't actually get it.
Yeah,
nice
but you can
synced up cubes again? My goodness, what are we doing?
I mean, it is entirely possible that it's just our randomly barren cistern that they can clear really early. Like, the logic does not really take into account.
Ooh, we're gonna see an active time comparison between death warping or taking claw shots back.
Yeah, I think because it's 6 hearts, and you've got to do bombs, this ends up being close to a wash. If they had damaged down, if they had less hearts.
Yeah, also, if they had been forced to go any further into mines, Bad Rock, I definitely would have said to do the death warp, especially because there's better methods of damaging down quickly later in mine, but that was a really interesting little experiment to watch. I liked it.
Yeah, the electric tubes.
Yeah.
Yes, at this point, the Emerald Tablet is the only thing stopping us from beating Cistern. I guess there's a world where it is logically Hook Beetle locked. No, I take that back. With claw shots, it's not.
Yeah.
Because with the items they have, they can get everything in Cistern, except getting into Cistern.
Now, Golden, you're gonna have to remind me, because I haven't been competing in this tournament, what cubes are required. I know that the Ancient Harbor Cube is required.
Yes.
That's
okay. We've had top level runners, including a tournament organizer, forget which cubes were required. So
this is such a mood.
That's what the tracker is really helpful for.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the only cube in Sansi. The other Sansi cubes are kind of gross.
I agree. They are.
For solo. I think for co-op they're fine. But
I mean, personally, I vote for like my
not
top.
Not the Pirates Cube, but the
Yeah.
Skipper's Cube for co-op I think is okay.
My top choice for tiny edits that I'd like to see happen in future versions of the randomizer is getting rid of the cutscene after the Pirates Cube. It would make it so much less painful.
Yeah.
It's just the cutscene, man. I can't.
Yeah, they have the ability to get the Bokoblin because they have a way to get through and cut down the Skulltulas. All right. Well, I think we're gonna see some out of logic shenanigans here. In Skippers from Jim.
Oh, true, because they don't have Hook Beetle. I was like, wait, they have Whip. What are we doing out of logic? Duh.
Whip is not in logic here.
Yeah, Whip. We don't get to the
So we're gonna see Jim do a trick with the Whip, where he uses the Whip to grab that bomb. The seed, because that is kind of precise, expects you to have either Hook Beetle or just a bomb bag.
Meanwhile, Yao also using Whip to deal with electric keys.
Yes. The Jim knows. I'm gonna tell you. It's not that he was told. It's that he knows. He realized last time.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
That is a really early Master Sword.
That is.
Wow.
The other thing that's interesting about that is because we have had our runners have finally diverged quite a bit in that we have gone to the 2 different sections of Sandsea. This could be really good for Jim if Yal finds like a tablet, assumedly Ruby tablet, or something else that really opens up further progression. If Yal doesn't come here to also go out of logic, that might be a casino item for him, which would suck.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know where the last sword is, but... Yeah, so they only need Master Sword, which is the level 5 sword. There are 4 swords, so they need to collect 3 of the 4.
Also, shoutouts to, if anybody hasn't seen it before, nice model, projectile skip that Jim just did. I love that trick.
Skydive check have something?
Given
that Jim is doing this, maybe it's just that he thinks the Death Warp is slower.
Yeah, the Death Warp isn't super fast there, but he's running towards the skydive platform, so I'm gonna go with it was pinging.
Yeah. Is he gonna take damage? Probably not.
Meanwhile, Yal
so we'll see what this out of logic adventure gets him.
Ballad.
That
does put in logic all of Isle of Songs.
Well,
no swaggy
not in logic. We are technically out of logic.
We're out of logic. I forget. We go out of logic so easily.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Betrothed Coloctos could be a bomb bag or a beetle.
Yeah.
Like, that ballad is actually pretty big because Jim is going to be able to do
There's the Ruby tablet. Okay, let's see if Yal decides to go to Skippers.
No, he's just going to go straight to Elden.
We'll see where our other sword is and if Yal ever has to go back for ballad or sword. Because potentially he might not have to. There are multiple ways to skip ballad for Thunderhead purposes. But generally speaking, I feel like in these settings they aren't done very often. I don't know how
it's very
often
seat specific.
Yeah,
I've seen it a couple times.
That was a sassy peak. I need to learn that. That was some like clean beetle flight. We got to see on Yal's side the optimal response to being attacked by a swarm of electric keys, which is in fact pull out your whip. But we got to see on Jim's side that, like, it is very possible to just never be seen by them and put yourself in very specific locations where you'll never get seen.
So the other purpose for Ballad is Gorko's Goddess Wall chest.
Yes.
Which is a sometimes hint.
It is also a hard requirement for that check. Gorko's Goddess Wall is a sometimes hint because it hard requires Ballad, at least Goddess Sword, and a harp, which is
and it's just kind of it's kind of slow and isolated along the way.
And it's also kind of jank.
Yes, kind of jank.
Kind of jank.
I would go with very jank.
I was a defender of Gorko as like, oh, it's not that bad, until I started playing Skyward Sword on Archipelago. Oh, it's worse on Archipelago. Oh no. Oh, it's bad. But yes,
you can do Archipelago on console now.
Yes, unfortunately I cannot, but personally, because I have setup restrictions. But
fair.
Supposedly, there is supposed to be a fix for the reason why I have setup restrictions that is in development. And Yal is the one who's working on it. Thank you so much, Yal. I really hope it works, because that would be so good.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna see Jim show up here, but I wonder if Jim is gonna just do Thunderhead.
Yeah, considering that...
The only thing you can't get are some goddess chests.
Yeah. Oh, there's more gratitude crystals on Yal's side. So it is gonna look, for now, like Jim is a step and a half behind, but we're gonna find out how much that extra sword is gonna have an effect on that.
Yeah, that we just kind of don't know for a while.
Yeah,
because Yal didn't even go and. The thing is, if Yal had gone to Skippers and pinged, I think he would have just done it all.
Probably, yeah. That's an ET Keepy.
Shouts
to regional ET Keepy.
That Yal implemented that.
Also, oh right, because we have a bottle on Jim's side, we're pulling out the shield by accident, and then we're gonna go save Oriel.
Yep.
So considering that Jim's kind of dirtling with some sky cleanup, I wouldn't be surprised if he then goes to Thunderhead from here.
I feel like he's going to.
Yeah.
Because he can do 4 checks, get a hint.
I feel like I do enjoy Yal's very dark color scheme, but it always throws me off because in Wind Waker, Jim plays with the Dark Link skin. And it's like very Dark Link coded, the skin that Yal has. So I'm like, wait a minute, if Yal is Dark Link, then who's Jim? Oh right, Jim is blue. Very nice jump on Yal's side there. And we are gonna get a real quick hint inside Thunderhead here.
That is our Triforce and Beetle shop.
Okay.
So
I
I
did say shop.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, right. And time to see if any of these swords were anything. Importantly, because the Master Sword Jim has is out of logic, the other sword in Central still could have been Path. I'm holding out hope. I really want to see a Thunderhead Path. And we have Yal kind of bailing on Eldon there because we don't have mitts or bombs to continue. Ballad is currently locked by either Hook Beetle or bombs.
Which entirely possible. It's just early retro at this point.
Yeah.
And
Jim
nothing
just got
in
paid!
Well, that is going to get him his Triforce.
Yes. I appreciate that he got paid in 3 different denominations there. So, unfortunately, for me, this was not our sword path. We do have Yal is gonna also save Oriel here.
Yeah.
And Oriel's not anything, but Pero might be. And I'm assuming that, considering that Yal did not go to Skippers, he's probably going straight to, Oh, and Jim is also going straight to Skyloft, not going to Eldon yet.
He's gonna... Yeah, I think he's just gonna check Pero. I think he might
Pero,
also...
we've got Chest and Bazaar.
Yeah, he's gonna grab the Triforce.
Yeah.
I would really think about that 5 and 10 too.
Yo, an extra pouch.
Like, just with the hint, I think you have to at least consider it.
Yeah.
Yal is more likely to do it than Jim.
Yes. I wonder also, Yal is sitting pretty at 20 gratitude crystals, which means, golden over-under
30 is in logic for Yal.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing 10 loose? Are we doing 10 loose?
He very well might do 10 loose here. Yes, we are.
This is 10 loose time.
Yal does not have a lot of checks left.
This is true.
This makes some sense given the path.
This could be interesting though, because since Jim doesn't know that there wasn't, by the way, I really like that on Yal's side. I love the checking Pero inside his own house. Excellent.
Yeah.
But this is going to be interesting because this is kind of going to be opposing gambles that Jim doesn't know that Eldon is kind of a wash. So,
other than crystals.
Yeah, other than crystals. So if it's bat 5 or 10, this plays really heavily in Jim's favor. Because he hasn't done 10 loose. If it's bat 30, also, that's really good for Yal.
Yeah, that central Skyloft to Scaldera could be crystals if Patro 30 is our path item. Okay, well that's Emerald Tablet on 5.
That doesn't necessarily mean that 30 is not gonna be also a path.
Not, but it probably means it does probably mean Jim is never gonna do loose. Jim is not likely to do 10 loose at this point.
Probably not.
With so much open, the likelihood that he is crystal locked is a lot lower.
Yeah.
I wonder, with the items Jim has, I think he might go Baron before Alvin.
Potentially,
because he can clear a lot more.
Also, while we did have Floria and Cistern both dead, we did not have Flooded Farron Woods hinted dead.
Correct. Yeah, and this is logically a very early beatable Floria and very early Cistern that just... Rando is being Rando, and they have nothing.
Jim is covering all his bases before he leaves, though. We are getting Zelda's Closet as well, which we just saw Yal do.
And the item from Colin.
Yes. Yeah, this is an interesting seed. Also, shoutouts to, we didn't call attention to, I love the, out of bounds loose crystals. It's so good. Such a good trick. How many rupees is Yal at now? Yal, bring your screen back so I can see, please. Come on.
Where?
No, that says Knight Academy. Come on. Oh, corruption.
Yeah.
207.
207.
Okay. So
He's got enough. He might. I mean, he will get to 300 at some point.
yes.
Oh. That's gonna maybe send Jim to Eldon now.
Yeah, that's interesting though, because that is a good location for Jim and not really what Yal wants to see in this situation.
Because it's gonna send him back to Eldon and not back to the Crow.
I don't know.
I
not
still think
committing
it's
to 30.
I think it's still possible Jim will just do Farron because he can do so much there.
Yeah. Flooded Farron is
he can do Flooded Farron, he can do all but one check in Farron Woods, he can get hints, he can do everything in Sealed Grounds. Like, there's more to do in Eldon, but basically he can one-trick Farron, with one exception. Like, there's some bomb-locked stuff that he might not be able to do.
Yeah.
But if I were in this position, I would really consider just doing Farron and maybe even just beating Cistern now.
Yeah, because the
only
situation
thing that's going to make Cistern maybe faster is Bomb Bag, but there's a fast kill for Coloctos with Master Sword.
I mean, you can do the quick kill with White Sword. Like, they both are in quick kill range for Yep, we're going Farron.
I think this makes a lot of sense in Jin's shoes with the items he has.
Yeah, there is also the matter of, because, oh my goodness, a Lake Floria start. A middle of Dead Floria.
That is, This is weird. Like, there's just, right? It just is.
Yeah, it's like, rando's gonna rando, but it's, like, very unlikely.
Yeah, it's completely random placement based on a random seed, and so it is entirely possible that you get a Lake Floria that is accessible. I mean, in this case, Lake Floria was accessible from almost the start, because of where the scale was. And it was barren, and Cistern was basically fully clearable from the start, and it was barren. This is actually not a bad place for Jim, because, I mean, he was going to get this hint no matter what, but I think he just clears Cistern here.
Yeah, honestly, and then you never come back with
Earth Temple to Molderak.
Oh my goodness.
That's got to be Bellows, I think, at this point. It could be bombs.
It could be bombs, yeah. Like, you really don't want it to be bombs. However, here's my hope. It's bombs. But it's bombs for small key on BK chest.
Alright, there's a couple pings. I think what Jim is going to do is check the rupees in his first room. All he needs is the boss key.
Yes.
And basically his worst case scenario is that it's on the Bokoblin, I think.
Yeah.
So one of the chests down in either the whip chest or the boss key chest has something. And the chest behind the waterfall has something. Those could be 2 keys.
Wisdom can be found in, did that say E.T.?
Farron Woods.
Farron Woods, my god, I cannot see text on my current setup. It's just like a blur of pixels. Oh, that's a BK. And crystals!
So what that is telling us is the only useful item in Betrayal is 5.
Yeah!
That is actually really good info for Jim.
Yeah!
Because the only way you could have dead crystals there is if that 5 is the only useful.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, I think we know with 100% certainty that Betro is junk.
Yeah, that's a really sort of neat interaction and lucky break for Jim, and that might be not great for Yal, because Yal has kind of been led on a very different path, which we don't know that this could pay off for him. We don't know what he's gonna find, but at the moment, he's kind of been steered away from doing just early Betrow.
Yeah.
Jim, please do not soft lock. Thank you.
So Jim is doing cistern clip to basically get here under the statue.
And on top of the door frame, apparently.
Yep. And he's just doing that to get out here. Though you need a small key. Earth Temple Lava. That's a nice location for that hit.
Yeah.
Coloctos is damage based. Yeah. So there are a lot of fast phase 1 strategies. That depend on whether you have bomb bag, what sword level you have. Unfortunately, Jim did activate jamming.
A little bit off with the front hop, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's a little precise. It's not a huge time loss.
More than even precise, that jump is just awkward because you would
Y'all
think...
got stuck on the weird part of the ledge.
Oh. But you would think that,
you did get hook beetle, too.
You just want to stay further away, but in fact, no. If you are too far away, the trick also fails. Hook beetle is very interesting, because that puts Jim in logic.
Yeah. I mean, this is... So... Yao will be able to beat Earth Temple here.
Yes, not logically, but yes.
Yeah, he'll do bomb.
It also... whether or not he wants to is an interesting question, because Bombless Scaldera is not a ton of time loss. It is time loss, but it's not a ton of time loss. Having to do some of the other checks in E.T. with Hook Beetle are pretty slow. And that correct me if I'm wrong, that did say that Lava Tunnel was dead, right?
Yes.
So that's the longest one.
Yeah, that's why I think you just do this.
Yes, definitely.
Yao can fulfill. Not in logic, but the only thing that logically hard requires bomb bag
is Scaldera, yeah.
Is Scaldera. Everything else, Hook Beetle can be used to bypass a bomb bag.
On Jim's side, we are gonna, if Coloctos ever decides to cooperate, hopefully see a Master Sword quick kill, which is a little bit rare. We're gonna wait and do some spinnies. There we go. You just have to wait for Coloctos to kind of lock into his animation of raising up his arms. So you're waiting for him to commit to the attack, and then the Master Sword does so much damage, you can just one-cycle him with quick spins.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Yal is doing our favorite bit interaction for just generally saving time, skipping the middle third of...
And so I kind of talked about this with Coloctos, that there are a lot of fast ways to do that. The one cycle for phase 1.
Yes.
The one that people know the best is the bomb bag. But yeah, without bow, he's gonna do Skyward Strikes here.
Yeah.
True Master Sword does not do more damage than Master Sword.
Yeah,
but
True Master Sword
is fast
just
Skyward Strike charge.
Yeah, True Master Sword is just going to be faster if you need to do quick spins, or not quick spins, Skyward Strikes, but does not give you any more damage, and also I don't believe gives you any more reach, which is, makes a difference in some fights. For a second I thought that I forgot that Ancient Cistern was dead, and I was like, Jim, the Heart Container! But, no, we're good.
It'll be funny if he gets a cursed medal here.
It would be really funny. He doesn't need bottle anytime soon, but...
Yeah, I mean... It'll be easy enough to drop it off. There's only one check at this point that would require bottle.
Nope. $5. But yeah, for Scaldera in particular, sometimes it does matter how long your sword is, but both Master Sword and TMS are just, real long. Real long, boys. I did not even realize until Yal walked into this room that Yal does not have slingshot or bow.
Oh, Volcano Summit was barren.
Oh,
yeah, he does not need a bottle for anything.
Oh, now I want him to get the cursed medal. It would have been funny.
Yeah, and kind of like we said, Jim is gonna just... I'm surprised he's not kicking the lower bomba wall, but... He is basically just gonna loop and do everything in Faring Woods besides... he can either ping or peek everything.
I personally hate that peek, so I don't blame him.
I think he will grab it on the other side. He struggled a little bit with it on game 1, but got it.
The problem with that peek is that there are some items that it's just almost impossible to peek.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not a fan of how Jim does this peek either. Oh, is another bottle.
He was a little too low, so hard to peek it from there.
More consistent locations for that one. Oh, there's D. Just hanging out in the open. Oh, we are doing the bomb peek, are we? Oh, it's a red rupee. That one was nice. The ones you really need to be careful with are like relics and stuff like that. That's very low to the ground.
Song of the Hero. Okay, that's our path. Skyloft trial contains required Gust Bellows.
Oh my god. Oh, now we have Yell dying to reload the room. Epic fail, except not really.
Jim, without bow, is gonna have to do the... Although Master Sword...
Yeah, this isn't too bad.
Easy mob and kill, but you don't want to mess up the jump, or you don't want to get knocked off. Crystals that he knows are junk.
Yeah, Path on Bat 5 is wild.
Yeah, I mean, I did kind of say, though, that's why you have to think about checking Betro early.
Yeah.
Like a Betro Path seed, it can be literally anything. I think we were just kind of assuming from the hints that it was going to be a late Emerald Tablet or something. But
yeah. But they led us astray.
Yeah. And we're going to see... So there are 5 groups of Tad Tones. They're all the groups of 4 Tad Tones that have items. So we're going to see Jim do all those.
I appreciate Yal also with the save, because Bombless Caldera is, Bombless Caldera is very sort of comfortable to a lot of people who have run any percent before, since any percent for Skyward Sword is done completely itemless, meaning Bombless Caldera is part of the route, and Yal has run any percent for a significant period of time. However, like, I can say from experience, oopsies happen. Please save your game before you do the trick that has a chance of soft locking.
Yeah.
It's when you think it can't happen anymore that it's gonna happen.
So we did see a vanilla group of Tad Tones here.
We did.
Yes. I didn't want to interrupt you. That felt rude, if I would. I will say that the only kind of interesting thing is if we don't get anything else, that could suggest that...
Well, that was Fair's Courage, and that said
it had something required.
I don't know what it was.
But I don't know what it was either.
Yeah.
But Jim is going to be able to go in there.
Yo, anyone want to open the VOD and pause on that one frame?
He's going to reopen it, I think.
Hopefully, yeah.
I'm okay. I trust that he's going to check it again.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the question, 64. We don't require... There were, I think, at least one other item, though. So I think he's going to check it here.
Oh, Yep. Bow and one other useful item. That was a
Required
required bow.
Hold up.
Oh.
You know why that's required?
What's up?
Because that's gonna lock Upper Eldin.
Oh my gosh, you're so
That's
right.
gonna lock all of our Upper Eldin is gonna lock all of our projectiles.
However, since that was Fayor's and Fayor's is right here, I'm gonna assume that Jim is probably just gonna dip in right now.
Yeah, the thing is,
there we go.
Because it's required, the other item could also be a Triforce. So you have to. So this is the thing: is if it's multiple items and one is required, you kind of have to do it.
Also, GG's to Yal on a very clean bombless meatball.
Yes. There is...
I never had any doubt, but I do appreciate the save. Oh, the other thing is that... Yeah, that was gratitude crystals, and Jim knows that those are not the other thing that is being marked as required.
Yes.
There's the bow.
Yeah, so that is what puts now actually getting up Elden Volcano in logic. Because for purposes of beginners, you do need a bow or slingshot to get past some of the goblins and climb up the volcano.
Yeah, this is one of those interesting ones where you would think that gratitude crystals would be the one other useful item, but no. They were also in Cisterns.
If it were two bows or if it were a slingshot, they would both be possibly required. The only way that you can have a required bow on this seed is that that bow hard locks every other bow and every other slingshot. And that was a bottle.
Was that bottle or a wallet? Either way, we don't need it.
Either way, we've got to finish the trial now for the other potential item.
Played is the Farron trial, which is by far the shortest trial, and also just pretty easy and smooth.
Yeah, it's the first one you do in the game. It is, therefore, the most straightforward.
Also, just like the route is nice and satisfying. It's way less convoluted of like making sure that you got all the items and stuff like that than a lot of the other trials are. So like if you're gonna full clear any trial, Farron's the one to do.
Yeah, I mean Farron and Skyloft are both pretty quick.
It could in fact be Triforce or Bomb Bag, we do not know. Meanwhile, Yal off to do the Skyloft trial at the same time. We're gonna high five from different trials.
Yep. And hoping that the Gust Bellows are on something other than the reward.
Yeah.
Skyloft trial, you're gonna beeline for the Dusk Relics, I think.
I mean, Skyloft trial, I also would just pick up stuff on the way. What is that? That's Din's Power. Was there any other useful items in this?
It was only Gust Bellows.
Oh, then that's a dead trial. Triangle!
That's Triforce of Courage.
Can we credit Arcticuma in the chat with calling it verbatim? Incredible.
So,
very good.
I'm gonna say the word.
Yes.
This is Jet Seed.
Mayhaps Fire Shield Earrings also dead.
Because Jim might hit Go Mode. Jim is gonna hit Go Mode in Earth Temple.
Yeah? Yep, because he does not need any more swords. He's gonna...
yeah, this is, like... While there's still a lot...
Where's our last Triforce? It was hinted, right?
Darren Woods. It's either on Deep Woods or on one of the cubes.
Oh my god. You're so right.
Yeah. I didn't... Did Jim get the last cube in Farron?
Which cubes are we talking?
The second one on the tree. I don't know if he
I
grabbed
don't think he did. I think it was a little out of the way.
But I think he's going to grab it on his way to Sealed Grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Go Mode, you've got to beat your 3 dungeons. You need to get the Master Sword.
In some settings, you do need the True Master Sword, which is 6 progressive swords. In these settings specifically, True Master Sword is nice. It makes your gauntlet a little bit easier, but we don't actually require it. So they only are required to have 5 progressive swords, and they also start with 1.
Yeah, so you've got to beat your 3 dungeons. You have to have the harp. You have to have Emerald Tablet. You have to have the Master Sword. And you have to have the 3 Triforce pieces. Yeah. I also will say, like, is there a chance that Jim just tries Bellows-less LMF?
I would be so happy if he did. I don't think he will, because I know
think
Jim's playstyle, but I
think he'll know.
Want him to.
Yeah, I think because he'll know where it is, he won't do Bellows-less. Because on the chance that you hard require Bellows to beat the seed, it's gross.
There was...
But
I don't know.
I'd
have to see the pings.
The other question is... Oh no, we got LMF boss key chest is dead. So we don't know. We may never find bomb bag.
Yeah, we don't hard require bomb bag. Jim, why are we saving and quitting?
Is he setting up a magic file for LMF?
No, he oopsied.
Okay.
I think he set up a bit magic file. Did he? No, he didn't.
Water Dragon's Reward is dead.
Alright. Yal was sent on a trip to get his Bellows.
Yeah, I mean, Jim is a couple minutes from actually getting into Earth Temple, obviously.
Yeah, he's gonna need to get all of his Earth Temple key pieces.
But yeah, he didn't. I don't think we got a Gorko hint, but
yeah, but we do now. Jim doesn't know this, but we know that it's dead.
Yes.
That was 2 required complete trials.
Yep.
Oh, Gorko Dead was in Deepwoods.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Shoutouts to the trackers.
Yes.
For knowing the seed better than us.
Yeah, and this is...
Yal seems a little turned around.
Jim is checking cubes. Yal is
probably sleeping tonight.
I think he's doing 5 more loops.
Yeah. Oof. Goofy doofies.
Again, like, I don't fault him in this position.
Yeah, no, definitely not at all. It's just, it's a owie.
I mean, Jim is gonna go grab the bird's nest and the hint. I think he's grabbing the bird's nest hint and cubes. I think he's checking cubes.
Because he knows that it's gonna be one of these cubes at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Jim does not realize how agonizingly close he is to go mode.
Yeah.
We do.
What if... Ooh, woo, what if we claw-shotted up to, the waterfall platform together? Wait, where are we going?
Jim is now going to...
Oh, right, because Jim doesn't have Bellows.
Yep. He's now going to Eldin. He has not been to Eldin at all. But...
Yep, he is pretty much gonna one-shot Eldin now.
Does he have the... I don't know if he has the path yet.
Which path?
Now that I think about it, the Eldin to... the Earth Temple to Molder.
He does not know.
I think that's one of the 2 hints in Eldin. So, at the same time, this... like... this will be pretty fast for Jim, overall.
Yeah. This has been very much like... Yal has had some unfortunate routing, but definitely not because, like, oh, he just made bad decisions. Like, no, his decisions have been very solid with the information he's had. He just made, like, one or two key different choices from Jim, and it has locked him out of a lot of information.
Honestly, Jim made one choice that just really paid off. Like, honestly, it was going to Petro early.
Hey, look, dead crystals.
I actually think this is going to be really close. Again.
I want to know what's on bat 30.
Because you know who also is not that far from go mode?
Yal.
Wait a second. Oh no, he knows where the Triforce is. He knows there's one in Beetle Shop, which he should get here. He should know there's one in Farron. Like, this is still pretty close.
Yo, Spiral Charge! Really unfortunate that Yal doesn't know that that's dead.
I think he died. Well, he's pinged the rocks, hasn't he?
One of them I was pinging, I believe.
It's gonna be crystals.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, it's probably...
So, like, this is a jet seed, I think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. What have you missed in the first leg? So... both runners have completed one dungeon. Jim has completed a Baron dungeon, and Yal has completed a not Baron dungeon. However, Jim made like one out of logic decision really early on, and has a lot more information than Yal does, and has basically full cleared all of Farron. While Yal has been taken on a little bit of a wild goose chase, unfortunately. So Jim probably is a bit ahead, just because he has information.
Jim did not get the Farron Woods Triforce yet.
Yes.
Is that bomb locked?
It might be. Oh, that would be
he's not in go mode.
Unless I didn't see if he got
check
all
the
of the sky pings. Yeah.
I think he did. I think he checked all the sky pings.
Oh no.
Oh.
Have we spoken too soon?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, there's one in Thunderhead.
There's one in Thunderhead. Good. Yes, true.
Okay.
He did not go to Thunderhead.
He did not go into Thunderhead, yeah. Yeah. The item hints point to the region that the cube is in, even if it's on the goddess chest.
Because I didn't see if Upper Bombable was pinging, did you? We'll probably find out.
I did not.
Either. Yal is now going to be very sad because he's assumedly going to go clear Ancient Cistern.
Well, he knows Cistern's Baron, so...
Yes, but he's gonna now find out that Petro is Baron. Well, past Bat 5.
Yeah.
Which makes that 10 loose kinda owies.
Farron Trial is not Farron Woods, so no.
This is true.
And we cannot get a hint for the other than the song. So if a Triforce is in a Silent Run, you will not get a hint on a Gossip Stone for it. Because it's considered covered even if it's not directly hinted. But
yeah, the trial hints are generally pretty generous.
Yeah, it's just we happened to get the rare case where a bow was required.
I wanna...
that bow will be helpful for Jim. Like,
yeah.
It will help him do some stuff a little faster. But
oh no! Yal didn't enter Cistern.
I think because it's go mode, he's just gonna come back at the end. Which makes sense.
Does he know he's in go? Or, well, we don't know if he's in go.
For Rumble Rock is dead.
Okay, good. So that means it's waiting in Thunderhead. Which we'll see if Yal wants to RBM open. Because Yal does not have
I assume Jim is gonna whip trick
also,
here.
Reminder that Yal is still missing one sword. Yal is not in go.
Was that... Oh, that was the sword
That's
in
the sword
Skippers.
that Jim got early. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the thing that is gonna... That is the big difference between them. Right now.
And again, I have my concerns about Yal skipping Cistern because that's where we found out that Gratitude Crystals and Cistern are dead. So that
He's not
might
gonna,
continue.
but he's gonna get to 40.
Yes.
And I don't think he's going back for a while. He's about to get 35 here. He will get to 40 in due course. Jim does not have Hook Beetle, but is not gonna need Hook Beetle. Well,
also,
he is gonna potentially need Hook Beetle.
Where did Yal get Hook Beetle? It was in Eldin.
It was in Eldin. Yeah, it was on one of the big spots.
He's gonna get it really soon.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about
It's a very clean movement on Yal's side today. We love to see it.
Yep.
Yal going back up the Great Tree to assumedly go do the path that Jim already did of going through Flooded Farron and then going
Barren Trial, Deep Woods.
Yep. Barren Trial, Deep Woods, potentially returning for Sealed Grounds.
Yeah, that.
And then
that
I don't know where
Yal
goes. Yeah.
I think he might end up at Skipper's soon.
We can hope.
It's gonna be a while for him to get there.
Yeah. So best case scenario, Yal decides to go to Skipper's. Worst case scenario, I think Yal decides to do LMF. Oh, he did?
Yep.
Where
I think he is
going?
gambling. I think he is gambling with that. Yeah, he skipped a cube
Oh, there's
also.
our beetle.
I feel like this is pretty solid. And he skipped the cube.
And he skipped Rope Cube. Oh my goodness. You're so right.
This feels like it is Jim's race here.
Are we breaking into...
He is
Are we doing the
RBMing.
double RBM?
This is the early Thunderhead.
No, this isn't the double RBM. This is just breaking into the trial. Because he hasn't been to Deep Woods yet. Oh, no, we're death warping. Okay, good. Thank God. He just went to go check on stuff.
Yeah.
Yal, you're scaring me.
Yeah.
My goodness. Life is back to normal. I'm glad. That would have been a wild play and would have left him in an interesting position. Yeah, oh my goodness. Now we're back to a world where we're mostly just doing retreading each other's ground here. Jim now has his Hook Beetle, which is gonna lead him into Earth Temple.
He's gonna do the swag jump. There's our vanilla Tadtone. Oh, Yal needs to be careful here. This is the one thing about the groups of Tadtones is when you do this vanilla with the settings we have, it's pretty hard to, like, if you have to get all 17 groups, it's pretty hard to die. But when you skip Tadtones,
I've died to Tadtones a hilarious amount of time.
It is harder to die.
Yes.
Maybe that's...
Yeah, the fact that these Tadtones are, and there's our song, and he's gonna check it immediately. The fact that
why is that bow required?
The fact that these Tadtones are so spread apart and you have so much further to go does lead to a lot more oopsies situations in Flooded Farron.
Yeah, air routing is actually a skill.
Yeah. Because, as we saw with Jim, you want to be at low health because optimally you usually want to death warp back. Hence why Yal, very nice, went into the poison bubble.
So Jim is very close to go mode.
Yes. Jim just has to pick up his Song of the Hero part, and then we'll find out where his bellows is. We know that his Tringle is waiting for him in Thunderhead, unless he skipped one of the other chests. I don't think he would, but he might have.
Swag jump from Yal.
That was a scary swag jump.
Yeah, I mean, that's normal. Like, it's still scary.
I do not like that jump. I'm too much of a coward for it.
I am too.
Oh, Jim, you didn't do Keys Yeet. I'm disappointed.
Are you? This is faster, baby.
I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed. Where is your sense of whimsy? Whimsy, Jimothy. Whimsy.
He's down one game.
Okay.
Whimsy is seated to practicality, which is he has to win.
Further concern, I really hope Yal doesn't gamble that gratitude crystal pack is his possibly required item.
Oh.
Please don't leave, Yal. Yal, stay put. Stay here, please.
Oh, God.
Please, I'm begging you. Yal, step away from the exit. No!
That's match. That's race right there. That, like, I don't want to speak too soon.
Yeah, that's
getting that Triforce was the thing that was going to.
We're not speaking in absolutes. There's the possibility that Jim just crashes and loses all of his data in a corrupted game issue.
They would probably do a rematch though.
Yeah.
Rather than Yal taking the win.
Ever. Technically, it's not impossible.
If Jim is tracking the hints, he should know he's in go mode. But there is still, well, no. We know Bomb Bag is not going to be required. For example. So, the only thing is if we're wrong about where his Triforce is. But I don't think we are.
I don't think there's anywhere else that the Triforce can be, assuming that we read our hints correctly. It's in Farronwood somewhere. And assumedly, either he knows that there's a ping in the sky waiting for him, or it's in Thunderhead, and he has easy access to Thunderhead because he got that really early ballad. Bomb Bag is logically required. However, Jim's just gonna do Bombless Scaldera, like Yal did, and we do know, like, correct me if I'm wrong, we got a hint about LMF BK, right? Where was Ballad? Ballad was in Skipper's Retreat, past the Bomb and Hook Beetle lock section.
Yeah, Skipper's Retreat ended up paying off really well for...
Yeah. And, like, this has been a fascinating sort of study as well on... I'm a big fan of, like, if you get, like, Summit or Caves that's hinted Baron, I'm a big fan of... Oh, yeah, that's we're going to... Wait, is that the... No, that's not the Spiral Charge, is it? But... I'm a big fan if you get a really small region hinted Baron and you're going through it anyway to ping the chests and potentially open it because you can snoop for what's dead. Because it doesn't pay off too frequently, but if you happen to see some dead gratitude crystals, or if you're doing it all sanity and you see a dead region has a tad tone, like, that can be really big. And essentially, Jim just got that for free because it was sitting out in the open. It was free information that gratitude crystal pack was not required.
Yeah.
Are bow-locked bows somewhere? It's a good question of where are our bows? They might be in LMF.
Yal doing Secret Passageway. This could be our Bomb Bag.
It could be. Well, it can't be unless Tough Beetle's available.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It could be.
But that would mean that there's 2 beetles out there somewhere that we're skipping.
I mean, there's a lot of sea we just haven't seen yet.
This is true.
And very nice bomb trick there.
Yeah, that setup in particular, there's 2 different setups for that, and that setup in particular is very difficult with the hooked beetle, especially with those wibbly wobbly motion control calibration there. Yeah, very, very clean. Very good
we're
piloting.
We're going to see Jim's last Triforce, we believe, is on the Thunderhead Goddess chest from Fair Woods.
Which he has already struck the cube for. Bellows are on full clearing the Skyloft trial. Which Jim
he will probably do just out of... because... Yeah, there's no reason for him to skip Skyloft trial. Like, he could take the risk.
Was that just a bottle?
Where? In...
that Yal just got. I think that was just a bottle in the secret passage. Unfortunately, not bombs.
Would have been funny if it was bombs.
Did Jim save his game like a good little speedrunner?
I
didn't see.
Oh.
Because he did just soft lock.
I think he has one more chance.
Unless that was mistimed, that was a soft lock. Yeah, no, he's confident that was a soft lock. Yeah, So, let's talk about Scaldera for a hot moment. The way that Scaldera works is that he has a timer of how long he is vulnerable for each time that you hit him into vulnerability. And the way that Bombless Scaldera works is that you interrupt said timer by doing enough damage to phase transition him without that timer ever actually completing. You like trigger the phase transition before he would normally. So he never actually leaves vulnerability, and he actually pauses the timer. So he is infinitely in vulnerability unless you ever happen to leave him alone for long enough that the timer would elapse when he should be vulnerable. Which, unfortunately, Jim's strikes there were just like a smidgen too far separated from each other. So that timer did elapse, and thus, because he doesn't have bombs that can trigger vulnerability,
he's gonna save here, I hope.
Have we learned our lesson, speedrunners?
Is Pibby going to remind Jim of the lessons he should have learned in the interview?
Maybe. Have we learned our lessons? For context, both of these runners are my friends and I get to bully them. I do it with love. This race has been quite the stressful turn of events. I do think that while that time loss was costly for Jim, I think he still is in a healthy bit of lead here. However, I am
skipping the Triforce in Farron trial. I just think.
Yeah.
When is he? He is not going to go back until.
That's
the end of the race. That's
gonna be rough. Yal is also after my own heart here, doing some shenaniganry in LMF. We're not doing the hard shenaniganry. This is soft shenaniganry. But we are skipping West Side for now. Alright. Is this gonna go better for Jim? I missed the first phase, so I'm just trusting. I'm trusting. Very nice. There we go. That's what it should look like. Oh, there's the quick beetle. That's not gonna open up any checks.
Nope.
However, if we had another beetle somewhere, it puts that bottle in logic. Which we love that bottle, right?
Yeah, that's very useful bottle. That
Very
opens
useful
up
bottle.
so many things. Because our bottles definitely lock things this seed.
Oh, and Jim knows he's in go. We just abandoned a check right there, so that's...
Jim is he's gonna probably do Skyloft Trial, go to Thunderhead and get the cube, warp to start.
Yep.
And then do LMF. And
yeah, always, we can say, like, oh yeah, runner and go and stuff like that, but it's a lot harder to tell that you're in go mode through stuff like hints. Nice boss key on Yao's side.
That is, for Jim, really convenient.
Yeah. But if you're actively in the race, it's a lot harder to be sure, like, that you're reading your hints correctly. So it is nice to be able to see, like, well, we know he's in go. Does he know he's in go? He knows he's in go. He knows what he's doing now.
Yeah.
Let's see if... I don't know, maybe Yal is gonna find another sword, but I don't even think that's gonna help him now, because unfortunately those darn gratitude crystals... I am so mad at them for Yal right now.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, Jim knows. 100% certainty.
Yeah.
Here. He's not even going to douse. He's beelining for this.
Oh no, not the minecart again. Yal was having some trouble with this minecart nonsense.
I mean, I don't fault him. This is a pain.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing it as was pointed out last seed. There's the trickle. In
and
the location.
That is go mode for Jim.
Yeah.
Because he knows where his... Yeah.
But he's doing it in the location where you would for HD usually, which is a lot less consistent for SD. Usually for SD, you want to be jumping onto the left side from an angle.
Oh, so
otherwise
this is the
you
spot
just get...
I go for?
You're doing it the hard way, did you know?
No. Yep, Jim beelining for the Skyloft Trial. He's not taking a risk in doing Bellows List.
Which is good, because Bellows List... Oh, we got it. Good job.
Would not help
Bellows
him.
List for this LMF setup would actually be impossible.
Yeah,
so,
as Viola's pointing out, that's why I don't do the left side, too.
Yeah.
Because the right side pulling out the beetle is more consistent, and I do this with the beetle instead of the bomb bag. Because Yao was having trouble with the bomb strat. Game 1.
Well, let's be real, this strat just sucks and I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, minecart jump
or no matter how you do it. Jim picking up his dead dins. Got a style on dins. Yeah, I'm told, like, I can't judge people for any way that they do that strat, because I'm told in HD I'm super unhinged, because I do it, with the bomb on the wrong side, which is possible. It can be done. It's just horrendously scarier because you are right next to a bomb that is exploding.
Bellows are on the reward.
Yes.
So he's
Jim,
got to get the trial reward.
Yeah, was seemingly trying to get away with not completing this trial, which is a little unfortunate because he is going to have to beat it.
But he knows the ways to avoid getting killed.
Yes. As we know, the watchers and everything...
Multiple watchers coming at you, though. That's... Getting scythed as you're trying to backflip. That's where you get into trouble. But he's seen all the relics, so he knows now.
As long as you kind of know how to avoid damage and how their sort of decision-making works as to when they're going to attack, A lot of the like watchers are kind of chumps, but it doesn't make my anxiety any less. Like you
When you
watch
have
really
two
experienced
near
players
you,
do this, and
when you have two near you, though, that's when you get anxious. Because
yeah,
dodging one can lead you into the other.
yup.
Meanwhile, pretty clean Molterak fight for Yao. He does need to make sure to back it into the corner. And should be able to get 4 jabs here. Assuming calibration.
Nice. Jim, please
This is
don't
one of those
run
places
back
where
across
calibration-
the waking water in this instance. My
I think he
anxiety
knows
can't
not to.
take it. Thank you.
Yeah. Where's the last... Oh, it's the one on the tower, yeah.
Yeah.
He knows not to.
Yeah, hence why, like, the real dangerous thing is if you get caught and the only thing left is the tower one, it can be really hard. It's not impossible, but it can be really hard to, like, get them into a position where they won't bully you while you're on the ladder.
Yeah.
It's scary, because you don't have a lot of movement options while you're climbing a ladder. Up! What a good bow.
That is a bow-locked bow.
Indeed it is.
Yeah, and... Yeah, this is now very much Jim's race.
Yeah, so
because
currently
there's just...
Jim just has to do LMF.
Yal is going to last location, that Triforce.
Yeah.
Like, we could play out this entire seed if it weren't a race. And it's just, yeah, I get, like, this is the thing about those hints, is
I feel so bad. Oh no, not more crystals. I'm so done with you, crystals.
It's possible he will check Betrayal and realize that those crystals were dead.
Yeah,
But I
hopefully.
still do, but like, I don't think there's a way for Yal to catch up.
Yeah, unfortunately, at this point,
if Yal had gotten the Triforce, this would be a really close race. Although he's still behind a sword, so maybe not. I keep forgetting he's behind that sword in Skippers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the really unfortunate thing, is that Yal is going to be going and doing miscellaneous and random checks because he's still hunting for one more sword. I kind of hope that he finds not the sword that Jim found. I want to know where it is.
No, well, Yal has the money. He'll pick up the Triforce.
He does.
Stuff.
He knows that
That's an easy one.
Triforce is there.
Yeah, he has to get into Thunderhead. Right, he has to go to Skippers, both for the sword and for Ballad.
I just watched Jim's brain work, because, like, Jim is a very, like, good technician as a player, but has, like, more than a decade's worth of, like, just old routes in muscle memory and stuff like that as a runner, and tends to a lot of times favor doing things the, like, intended way of just relying on clean execution. And, like, I just watched Jim's decision-making of, like, what if I just went through West Room anyway? Like, it's just West Room. Despite the fact that, like, skipping West Room here is definitely the right call.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. The small key must be on the shortcut chest.
Yes, it is. Yal got it.
Yeah. Because, again, Yal was not in go mode.
Yes.
Yal might go back and do that room in LMF next.
Yeah, terrible location for that small key.
But at least the boss key wasn't locked behind it.
Yes. I mean, if the boss key was in the small key-locked room, it would have been probably the correct decision to just do the stupid in LMF strats. To skip the small key.
He would have just done the Bella's box RBM.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that, like, you can do the statue RBMs to do it.
Yeah. But
we're going to Eldon. What are we doing in Eldon?
I don't know.
We know that Dins is dead.
Is he early Thunderhead? Is this his most early Thunderhead?
I would go to Farron to early Thunderhead.
Did he skip these dig spots?
Oh, did he? Oh,
he never did these 2 dig spots.
Oh no. No, y'all.
I mean, he could be looking for the summit hints too. Man.
Yeah, I guess, like, going into Summit would not be... Jim,
oh, no, Jim is just opening the gate, yeah.
Oh, okay, he's playing it safe.
He is maybe going for the Summit hint. No, he just skipped these checks and skipped the skew.
I didn't even notice that he skipped those because I was too enamored with Dead Betro at the time. This has been a wild race, and the thing is that, like, if Yal realizes that the rest of Betro is dead, it's still probably, like, either, like, he might not notice that that means that trial had something else, or...
I mean, Jim could have made the exact same mistake that Yal did.
Yes.
If he had not done Cistern first.
Yes.
Like, that was kind of the decision. Even more, I would say, than going and doing skippers.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, that really was just, like...
It was really fortunate for Jim.
Yeah, even if, like, Jim had still, like, you know, Jim had seen more of Betro and knew that there wasn't anything else on Betro, like, if you're in the middle of a seed, it's a lot harder to be able to go, yeah, I am confident that these usually possibly required items are completely dead according to logic, and to completely write it off like that. So it's, like, such an easy mistake to make, and, like, Jim really did have it just, like, that was an absolute smoking gun, that they were sitting in the middle of Dead Cistern. It was really unfortunate for Yal, because, like, Yal is probably not going to go back for Cistern for a long time, because why go back there? It's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, like, there's not much reason for Yal to go back to do Cistern. Like, the reason it made sense for them to do it then is because there's basically the only item, well, this is the thing, is Jim having Master Sword made it about as fast as it was going to be.
I mean, yeah, it made it fast and easy.
Like, Yal being behind in swords made it a little slower.
Yes.
And
yeah, and
Yal
to be clear,
yes.
Jim knew that crystals were dead because they were sitting in a dead dungeon next to Vosky.
Yeah, and because of that, he knew the only useful item in Betro had to be the Emerald Tablet on Betro 5.
Yes.
Because it basically, like, crystals cannot be dead unless they either Betro's house is dead or they are hard locked behind the highest useful Betro. And that was a very clean Moldarak fight for Jim. So he's going to come out of here, fly to the sky, go to Steel Grounds, and let's Zelda's blessing is dead.
Yal has died.
Boss so
This is
forgettable to the game
unfortunate.
twice. So true, Momo.
I said the other day while doing a seed that I kind of wish. Nice bow.
That's our that bow also locked behind our first bow.
But I kind of wish that if in Rando, if you have beaten Moldarak in one location, it beats Moldarak in both locations. That would be really neat. If you could skip doing Moldarak before Rickety Coaster, if you've done LMF, like, would be very funny. Jim, you having fun there?
Or just the HD, where you don't have to beat Moldarak to do Rickety Coaster.
Oh, see, that would be even better.
Oh, it's the same second bow, but...
Yes.
More gratitude crystals that are somehow locked behind the Emerald Tablet. Oh yeah, because I don't know how, but those are somehow locked. Somehow those are locked behind the Emerald
Tablet. Jim is so confident in his victory, he did not make the minecart go fast. This is unforgivable. Disclaimer, this is heavily a joke. You cannot make the minecart actually speed up. Alright, Jim's on his way to endgame. This was pretty much a jet seed. And unfortunately, Yal has been put in the position that we like to call missing the jet. That the plane left without him. And really, it was like...
I don't even know if this is like per se a jet.
It's
sub 130 would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yal did early Thunderhead. I was not even paying attention. That's just Triforce. He must have done it in Elden.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did the tree bonk method. He's about to go get paid 3 times. Caught the jet, but it was Spirit Airlines. No! My wallet! My wallet that was unrequired!
Well, there's our unrequired Near's Wisdom.
I want to know where Bomb Bag was.
LMF. I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna guess LMF or like Boko Base.
LMF inside.
Although lower Boko Base
key-locked room.
Yeah, that's my guess. Is LMF key-locked room. I mean, I don't know why Cave's Key or Life Tree Fruit were our central Skyloft to Scaldera. I have not figured out what our central Skyloft to Scaldera requires.
Was it not Elden Tablet?
No, because Ruby Tablet was not in central Skyloft, was it?
It was in Waterfall.
Oh, okay. Never mind, that was it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We will never know where the bomb bag was. Unless someone plays this scene and decides to full clear it, but...
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is it's in the LMF checks that Yal's about to go do.
No. Oh, we're leaving? Nope. We're leaving? Yal, can we go to Skippers, please?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
As we were talking about earlier, this fight is much easier to do fast if you have True Master Sword.
Yes.
It actually does not matter what sword you have, as long as it's not True Master Sword, they all charge up at the same rate, meaning that that's one of the hardest tricks in Skyward Sword 80% right there, is doing that Skyward Stab stun lock, and it's very easy to miss it by just like a frame or two.
Yeah, Yal's now going to go into Cistern.
Hey,
I think
I hope he
will
gets
he
the
discover
gratitude crystals.
the crystals before Jim finishes the race?
I don't think it's likely just because travel time and cutscenes, but I want him to.
I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to get far enough.
Oh, and he's going down first.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's... Huh. This is not the usual Phase 2 strategy that Jim's doing. But I'm guessing he feels it's more consistent.
I mean, first of all, GG's. That is just, like, shield strats. You can do it with shield. It's an option. I don't like it, but some people do.
Alright, we're gonna pull Jim and Yal in.
Greetings,
GG
racers.
Jim, GG Yal.
GG's.
Greetings, GG's.
How do you feel? This seed was wild.
Not as wild as the first one.
The first one as a viewer was a lot more wild, I feel.
Yes.
So,
the 40-second gap.
I have so many questions, but first, feelings. Yal, what's up?
So I'm guessing there's, like, a Triforce in Fair and Trial as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Because once I saw Bat 40 was nothing, I was like, uh-oh.
Yep.
That's not the one more.
Yep.
And then, after Cistern, if Jim hadn't already finished, I was going to check the last Hintstone, because that's the only one that I hadn't seen. So, when I inevitably did not see Triforce hint, then...
Yeah. So, to walk y'all through a little bit of what happened, you were very much hand in hand until you got to Sandsea, where Jim went to Skipper's and Yell went to Pirate Stronghold, and Skipper's was Yell, your missing sword, as well as Ballad. Then Jim deciding to do the dead dungeon first, and getting the tip off that gratitude crystals were sitting right next to the boss key were really the big decisions that made this race. It was like really just those two decisions were the huge turning points. It was very fascinating.
Yeah, because there was a sword in Skipper's too.
Yeah.
But the finding the crystals in Cistern was really big for Jim, because that's what I'm guessing, Jim, that's caused you to clear the full Fair and Trial.
I mean, I was gonna clear the full Fair and Trial anyway. Like, I reasoned that the bow wasn't, like, actually required, because it was probably just needed for getting up the Elven slope.
Yes.
But,
yeah,
like, there could be, like, but because of the one other item, I was like, well, that could be another required item, and if it's a Triforce, then we're not going to get another hint about it. So, I just went and did it anyway, and it paid off. It was the Triforce. I was like, well, that's really, really good. Glad I did that.
Did you know at that point that your gratitude crystals were guaranteed dead?
Yeah, I knew that when I saw them in Cistern.
Yeah, because that's what we were... But I feel bad. I feel like, yeah, I set you up for this one. That we commented on the dead crystals in Cistern, and then commented on, oh, look at the bait crystals hanging out there. Good thing Jim saw the crystals in Cistern. And then Yal showed up, and we all went, oh, no. No,
and you want to know why
You want
to know why I didn't do Cistern the first time I went to Farron? Because I didn't have Master Sword, and I didn't want to fight Coloctos with neither bombs nor Master Sword.
I figured that.
I had Master Sword.
Jim had Master Sword, and we said, like, there's no benefit to delaying.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, incredible race. Really fun watch.
Do you all want to talk about game 1 at all?
Oh yeah.
I suppose that is a thing that happened.
We didn't do the interview, but that game 1 came down to 40 seconds. So
Yeah,
and like,
I
what was this? What was the context for this Skipper's comment?
I accidentally went and did Skipper's Shack because I forgot that it wasn't included in these settings, and I was like, but for some reason I thought it was included in these settings and was an always hint, and I was like, well, I don't have the always hint for it yet, so I'm just gonna go check it just in case while I'm at Skipper's. And yeah, that's it. I failed to see that it was not actually on the list of locations, so oops.
Live and learn.
If I had $1 for every time, or if I had a nickel for every time a trial hint said bomb bag required and it wasn't actually required in this season, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. And that's also why I did the weird key smuggle thing in FS. I was like, after LMF boss key was a crystal pack, I was upset, so I was gambling on that the bombable wall being water scale and not a small key, or water scale or a big key. But then I found the big key, and I was like, okay, let's be water scale. Unfortunately, it was right at the end anyway. But yeah, and then both races, the minecart absolutely did not want to let me on.
It sure didn't. It was being very mean to you.
yeah.
I do also have to ask, hey Jim, have we learned our lesson about saving before bombless Scaldera?
Well, I shouldn't be failing bombless Scaldera, but yeah, I only remembered that I should have saved as I opened the boss door. I was like, oh,
that's
oops,
a
well,
mood.
hopefully I don't have to go like run all the way back here.
Yeah,
I also didn't get bomb bag in either seed today. I don't get to use bombs.
Nobody ever
Yeah, we have
found
no
the
idea
bomb
where
bag in
bombs
that
were.
second seed. Yep.
Yeah. We were thinking LMF. West Room, but
Yeah, and I can't judge
Oh, was
because
West
I've
Room-
definitely also gone, I should have saved there. Shrug.
Was Weststream pinging? I was just...
sorry, East Room.
I
not
was
West
assuming that it was just the... Well, no, but East Room, the small key was on the
No, yeah.
shortcut chest, so it can't have bombs.
Room. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know then. It will remain a mystery. I don't
There
think
was
lower
a
vocal
ping in
means
second phase.
I guess there was one... Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I never got Shed Goddess chest.
Was it pinging?
I never pinged it.
Fair enough.
It will be a mystery until someone decides to reload the seed and run back and see.
Which is oh so
I mean, I
likely.
did strike the cube, but I never got a chance to ping it.
Yeah, but very good execution all around, y'all. Really fun races to watch. Excited to have Game 3.
Yeah, Game 3 will be 6 o'clock Eastern on Tuesday night. We will try our best to get a team to restream it. Any final thoughts from you all?
I will do my best to not pick up Skipper's Retreat chest next time.
The allure of Skipper's retreat chest is calling.
One of these days I will learn my lesson about being so averse of doing out-of-logic things.
Oh, is that why you didn't do Skipper's in the
please-
second seed?
Yeah, no, because I didn't have Hook Beetle or bombs yet.
Yeah, that's fair. But we did have Whip. And claw shots.
And stop putting bombs in trials and telling us that they're required.
All right, with that, we are going to head out. We're going to go raid Ryukin, who has been commentating some of the Skyward Sword races. We'll be back with SSR on Tuesday night, about 48 hours from now. There are a bunch of Ocarina of Time races and Zelda 2 rando races between now and then as well. But thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good rest of your Sunday. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.